I'm here with Dan. Dan, I think it's fair to say that this game was very different from the one we saw during the week, but give us your thoughts on the game today.
Yeah, I kind of expected this, Laurie, if I'm honest with you, bro. I can't lie. I kind of felt like it was from a high to a little bit of a low. I think it was a bit of a dull game. I think it was quite flat in parts. I think the atmosphere was a little bit flat at times as well. The team selection was what I expected, brother, if I'm honest with you. A little bit disappointed to hear that Ben White's out. I think it was a great opportunity.
Do we know what the extent of the injury is?
I don't think it's a bad one. I think he's felt something, apparently, so he's obviously got a knock. I don't think it's a long-term injury again, but it wouldn't surprise me the way our season's been. But I look at Ben White, I thought it was a great opportunity for him today, to actually allow Timber to have a bit of a rest. What was quite good was he allowed Timber to rest. I don't particularly like Partey at right back, but I thought he was all right today, to be fair. I think he's played well all season, if I'm honest with you. So I wasn't really gutted by the team selection. I think it was probably a scenario that I expected.
Yeah, I think most people would agree that rotation was necessary.
100%. I think our eyes are on Wednesday, aren't they? And I think it's right to be that. I think we know the league is gone, and I think most people after West Ham believe the league was gone, right? So I think we have to look at this and understand that there's fixtures we have to play, but our eyes are in the Champions League, our eggs are in the basket of the Champions League now, and I think we've got to roll the dice in that Champions League now and believe that we can go as far as we can. And look, today was a performance in particular to Partey I want to mention, actually, because I think we've got to give this guy a New Year contract now.
I was saying that to one of the earlier interviews. Yeah, I think we should.
I don't 100%. Really know, if I'm honest with you, I don't really know many players have been better than him this season, brother. I look at what Gabriel's done. I know he's injured now, but I think he's been immense. I look at the youngsters of Ethan and Lois Skelly have been positives this season. But for me, other than Timber, I think I'm looking at Partey as being one of our best players.
And you have to remember as well, sorry to interrupt, Dan, but he's playing at right back today as well. Yeah. And he's made that lung bursting run off the back of what Declan Rice did, and he finished well.
You can't overrate that either, by the way, because I think he's underrated what he's done there in terms of going forward. A lot of people believe that Partey is one of these kind of robotic guys, hasn't really got the pace and the legs. I think he showed a little bit of quality there in terms of his pace and ability on the ball, and Declan Rice makes the goal, if I'm honest. I thought he was brilliant today in engine in midfield. I think up and down he's been fantastic. I've always believed he could be that kind of box to box, but can he be that 8? I'm not so sure about Declan Rice in the 8, and I'm still not. Even the other night I thought his performance was outrageous, but I'm still questioning, has he got more attributes that suit him in the 6? And I've been kind of echoing that for a while now, but
was you surprised that he stayed on that long? Because people around me were saying maybe you should have took him off, if not for half time, but earlier on in the game.
The problem you got, Laurie, is we're kind of bare bones in a lot of positions, aren't we? And I understand that Declan Rice and Timber and some of the guys I didn't want to see today played, but I kind of look at the bench and I think who could have come on then in midfield, because Jorginho was already there, Marino came on, you got Partey playing at right back. How many more midfielders have we got to bring on? So Declan Rice kind of had to today, Partey kind of had to play at right back today. We've lost a lot of players, and I think that the biggest frustration for me, right, is the squad in the summer and the squad in January was never strong enough to go for all competitions. And what I want to see now is Andrea Berta coming in, and I want to see some serious business in the summer. Because for me, I don't want this squad to be good enough in the summer to go and win a title. I want it to be good enough to go on all four fronts. Because when people say to me, we want a couple more players, we might win a title, we need a lot more than a couple more players, right? We need 6 or 7 coming in my opinion.
6 or 7?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And the reason I say that many is because we're probably going to lose about 12 or 13 players in the summer, yeah? When you look at it, you've got Neto and Sterling that are obviously going, Tomiyasu's hardly going to be available, you've got Tavares that's leaving, Lokongas that's leaving, Fabio Vieira that's leaving, Marquinhos, everyone forgets they're part of our squad, yeah? Partey and Jorginho, their contracts, Tierney, Kivior, Zinchenko, you've got Reece Nelson, players like that. So you've got to think about that. That's like 12, 13 players. People are talking about Jesus and Trossard. Are they going to be the future? So you start listing it and you think, wow, we can't lose 13 players and bring like 3 in. We've got to bring 6 or 7 in. So when Arteta said in his conference this is a big summer, I think Andrea Berta's got a massive job on his hands here, and I think he's willing to have that challenge, because you look what he's done at Atletico Madrid. I think what he needs to do now is go, right, you're looking at a striker, cool, you're looking at a left winger, all good. Our midfield needs surgery. I think at the back, if we're going to lose a few players, we might even need to look at a defender again, which is crazy. We might even need to look at a backup goalkeeper again, which is crazy. But when you look at that, you think, actually, that isn't 1 or 2 players then, is it? If you're looking at a goalkeeper,
yeah,
you
know what, you make some very good points.
There's 5, 6 players there that at least that we need. So I hope that happens in the summer, because for me, we need to be going on all 4 fronts. We can't be looking at, right, that's enough to just win one competition. I want to be competitive in the League Cup. I want to go for the domestic trophies. I think the FA Cup is our trophy 14 times. Next season, I want to be going for that. The Champions League, we've got to deliver in. And for me, the Premier League, we all want it. It's been 21 21 years, and we've got either squad that's good enough for that. And I think today has kind of proved that when we make a few changes, likewise against Everton, we ain't quite able to get 3 points against Everton and Brentford. It means your squad isn't good enough. And it's not just been them as well. There's been other games this season we dropped points. So for me, that's what we've got to look at in the summer now. I think our anger and frustration has kind of gone a few weeks ago. We know the league's done. We now need to look at rolling the dice again in the Champions League, and that's where we can move to Wednesday, mate.
Got to ask you, last time me and you spoke, I know you was expressing your disappointment come frustration with Martin Odegaard. He came on today. I think it's fair to say he never set the game alight. So it would appear that there's still a bit of an issue. Is it lack of confidence? What do you put it down to?
Yeah, I think it's lack of confidence. I don't think he's been able to quite get into the swing of things this season, if I'm honest. I know I underappreciate that he's had sickness and injury, but that was back in November. So now we start to look at excuses and think they're drying up, because actually you've got to deliver now, yeah? So I've had a bit of a kind of debate with a few people. I still rate Odegaard. I'm an Odegaard guy. I like him. I think he's got a lot of quality, and I think his technical ability's there. Does he drag us across the line? No. Is he a leader and a captain? Not in my opinion. I know he's the captain and he's got the armband, but I like players like Gabriel and Rice that I think have done more than that in terms of his set pieces. And I think Declan Rice has definitely shown that he can do that midweek, yeah? So for me, I think Martin Odegaard's ability is there. I just don't know that mentality-wise he's quite got the confidence to come and spring into the game. And it was a great opportunity for him tonight. I actually would have started him tonight because I felt like he needed that kind of confidence boost. When he came on, I thought, there we go, let's see what he can do. And I'm kind of disappointed with him this season, Laurie. I think he's got 2 goals and 4 assists in 27 games or something like that.
I think there was a moment in the game today that kind of summed up his season so far. He went on a bit of a run. He cuts in on his left foot. Bit of space opens up. You think, you're right, shoot, take it on. He passed it, and I think even the pass dropped short of the players. So, there's a bit of a concern, right, for Wednesday.
It's a massive concern for his form. I don't even know if it's just a concern for Wednesday because we've got that 3-0 cushion, right? But when you look at Odegaard's performances individually this season, I haven't been impressed. I do get frustrated when he doesn't shoot. I wonder if he can. And I don't mean, I know that sounds harsh for a professional footballer to not be able to shoot, but why is he not shooting? Because I see Declan Rice.
I see Declan Rice does,
exactly.
But even today, there was a number of them that didn't shoot. I think there was an opportunity that Saka could have had earlier in the game and he didn't shoot. So it's a recurring problem or a recurring theme.
Is there an argument to say that we might need an attacking midfielder in the summer? And then he has a little bit of competition. Maybe he drops into the 8 a bit more. Maybe we allow him to have a little bit of that competition and give him a kick out the backside. You know, look, these professional footballers, no matter how quality you are, you need competition. We've seen that with Saka. We've been crying out for a right winger for Saka. We've been crying out for a striker for God knows how long. Maybe we need an attacking midfielder in the summer. A lot of people are saying we do. And I'm a big fan of Martin Odegaard, but I can't see these performances continue because for me, I need to see a little bit of consistency. But look, I'm quietly confident going into Wednesday night. 3-0, surely Arsenal can't mess this up, man. Surely. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at now is rolling the dice for the Champions League, Laurie.
Okay, Dan, thanks very much, mate.